So a lot of people say they want a big, powerful dog, a pit bull, a German Shepherd, a Rottweiler, a Cane Corso, Vorbull, those things. And I get it. I really, really get it. I mean, I've had German Shepherds, I've had Rottweilers, I've had Great Danes, and now I've got my pit bull Sam and my Adobe. But I've also had Cocker Spaniels and I've had Beagles. And let me tell you right now, a Beagle does not prepare you for a Cane Corso. A Cocker Spaniel does not prepare you for a pit bull or a German Shepherd. And God forbid you get a Malinois. Forget that. Even I can't even handle Malinois. But here's what I've noticed over the years. A lot of people love the idea of a powerful dog way more than they're actually ready for the reality of one. Because the biggest mistakes usually happen before they even get the dog home. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes people make when they want a powerful dog. If you're into it, click the subscription bell and get ready for more content. Okay, mistake number one, we're going to get right into it. Picking the breed for the image instead of the actual lifestyle. We see this all the time. People fall in love with the look, the muscle, the presence, the intensity, the wow factor, the I'm going to scare my neighbors factor. And some people get them for that, believe it or not, they do. They want the dog that people stop on the street and look at, right? What they don't always think about is what that's like to live with a dog like that, because these are not casual dogs. They're not low effort dogs. They don't just hang around and look cool dogs. They're not Instagram models, right? They need structure. They need engagement. They need clarity. And they need an owner who's actually going to pay attention to them. You see, that's one of the biggest things I learned over time. A stronger, more intense dog usually comes with a lot more to manage. It's not a bad dog, just more dog. Okay, mistake number two. Thinking that powerful automatically means stable. It absolutely does not. I've learned this with my Doberman Roman. I've learned this with Maya, who's another Doberman, believe it or not, go figure. But yeah, a strong dog without structure is going to become a mess really fast. See, people assume sometimes that, well, the dog looks confident, so it's naturally going to just be solid and stable and listen to me. No, that's not how any of that works. Strength does never replace training. Intelligence does not replace guidance. And loyalty definitely does not replace management. You still have to teach the dog how to live in your world. Mistake number three. Pushing the dog into a situation it's absolutely not ready for. This happens all the time. People want their dog to greet every dog on the street. They love every stranger, go everywhere with them, handle every loud, chaotic, overstimulating environment like it's nothing. They think, oh, these dogs are hunting dogs, they're gun dogs, they can handle everything, they don't care about noises. That's absolutely not true, especially with the way breeders are breeding some of these dogs these days, especially with the Dobermans. So when they go there, they put these dogs in situations. They suddenly act surprised when the dog is overwhelmed. A lot of these breeds are sensitive. A lot of people don't understand this. These breeds are sensitive, especially Doberman pinschers. They're aware, they're intense, and they notice everything. That doesn't mean they're aggressive. It just means you have to understand what your dog can handle, what your dog is feeling, and when you're asking it to do too much that it's just not ready for. And also, please remember this. If you take nothing else away from this video, remember this. Your dog doesn't need to be friends with every other dog on the street. It doesn't need to greet every human. And your dog that is not a service dog does not need to go everywhere with you. That's not socialization. That's a nightmare. It doesn't need to greet. It doesn't need to go everywhere with you. It doesn't have to follow you around all day long. Because honestly, a lot of these problems, they would be avoided if people would stop trying to force a dog into situations it's just not ready for. It's like a fake social standard that the dog is never comfortable with in the first place, and it should not be in. Okay, moving on. Mistake number four, being inconsistent. This one causes so many problems. One day the dog's allowed to get on the couch, for example. The next day he's not allowed to get on the couch. One person has rules for the dog. The other person in the house doesn't have rules for the dog. One person trains the dog. The other person just wants to pet it and act like it's a big baby. Basically, if you give a dog like that structure and it falls apart, it confuses your dog. It doesn't know what you want from it. If you have smart, more intense, more powerful breeds, that confusion can show up really fast in a way you're not going to like, in a way your landlord's not going to like, in a way your neighbor's not going to like. So consistency is the key. If you're all over the place, your dog is going to be all over the place, especially with guardian breeds, because they're mostly trained to tune into you. It's in their breeding, it's in their genetics, it's how they live. So, your fifth and final mistake: you treat these dogs like symbols instead of dogs. Okay, let's be real about this. Some people, especially now that you're seeing the Cane Corso get way more popular than it's ever been before, it's clear some people are getting these breeds to show off, right? You don't need a Cane Corso if you live in a one-bedroom apartment in the suburbs. You don't need that. Some people treat them like status symbols. Some people treat them like they're automatic problems, right? They see one, oh God, it's a Cane Corso. Oh my God, it's a pit bull. Run away, run away. Both of these are wrong, right? These are dogs. They are just dogs. They're not monsters. They're not plaques for your wall. They're not props. They're not warning signs. They're not your personality, okay? They have their own temperaments. They have their own sensitivities, their own strengths, their own weaknesses, and they have their own limits. And that's the biggest thing about it. One of the biggest lessons that I personally learned from having the different kind of dogs over the years is that, yeah, the breed matters. Okay, it does. But more than that, it's the dog itself in front of you that matters. That matters way more. A Cocker Spaniel is different than a Rottweiler. A Beagle is different than a Doberman. And even within the same breed, they could be wildly different, right? Again, with Roman and Maya. Yes, they're both kind of intense dogs, but Roman was way more barky and Maya's way more twitchy. You have to be ready for anything when it comes to these. So look, you got to stop thinking in stereotypes and pay attention to the dog you actually have. My old Rottweiler Titan was the nicest dog on the planet. He loved everybody and everything, right? All he wanted was pets and food. He was not your typical Rottweiler. So you got to pay attention to the actual dog you have and not what you think you're going to get. So to sum it all up, what does this all mean? Powerful breeds are not bad dogs, but they are often serious dogs. And serious dogs need serious ownership. Not fake tough guy, scare the neighbors, look cool on Instagram owners. Real, actual owners that are going to take the time to do what they have to do. Calm, clear, consistent ownership. Be honest with yourself. Why are you getting this breed? Why do you have it? What do you want it to do? And be honest with the dog. You know the dog's personality. It just wants to be your friend, right? If you want it for something other than that, to scare your neighbors, don't get that dog. So the mistake is not loving breeds that are that big and strong and powerful and intense. The mistake is underestimating them. That's the part people don't post enough. You don't see that part on Instagram or TikTok. You don't see that. So again, that's the biggest mistakes people make with these dogs. And if you're into real conversations like this about dogs, behavior, training, what life with them is really like, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'm putting a lot more into this channel now, and I'm just getting started, turning it into something more interactive and useful than just my random dog clips from before. So if that sounds like your thing, stick around, click that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll have better quality next time, getting a ring light and all that good stuff. So yeah, stick around.